Alright, it's a late stream today, but I want to finish some things, so we're doing like a little bit of everything. Well, I was doing a little bit of everything today. I have a new test project working. Trying to get Toby, the Pro SDK, working. And it's working, but when I converted my Toby tracker code, when I converted the project to .NET 8, it's no longer. You watch now, it's gonna call me a liar. Yeah, not. It's weird. The auto completion isn't working, and all I did was change it to 8.0. And I don't think we need to redo the Toby research packages for it, but right, like it's so. Yeah, so it updates the Godot Toby project. Yeah, the asset hasn't changed. Yeah, it's like not. Well, it's not auto completing with Godot either. For some reason. And like that should be right. It builds, it runs, it finds my Toby. Right, it's found the Toby tracker. It's got my gaze frequencies. Doesn't have any errors. So weird. So it's like working. I say it works for a second. And then fails. Oh, it's gotta be the something that messed up in the solution file. But that all looks fine. Yeah, I don't see any issues with that, unless there's some compatibility between. Maybe it doesn't work with .NET. Yeah. Change the target x64. Right? Like this should be quite straightforward. Export theories. Yeah, weird. Because it still builds. Let's see, Godot. Auto completion. Fails, CSP, after. Engine, .NET 8. What? What would that matter? Hmm. I wonder if we... Oh, you know what? I have an idea. Let's kill the mono. Yeah, let's just kill the Godot folder. Let it rebuild. I'm gonna change it back. Man. Yeah, it's so stupid. Let me just regenerate it then. Create a solution. Alright, so we have a solution. No, still. Alright, let's move the boots. Run, Toby. Wait our solution. Still nothing. Yeah, and we're not. Yeah, this is like literally the same one. Wait in a second. This might be it. Good. Problem might be me. Problem is definitely me. Eye tracker dot place capabilities. Okay, good. So I got it. So what I'm trying to do is trying to get the I'm trying to pull in our glaze data. Yeah, this is actually set up. Okay, Toby tracking serial number. Toby tracking pro license failed to apply. Okay, we'll give it a second. Run it again. Alright, so we should be okay now, but we're still not receiving data. And I'm wondering why. Like, everything is fine. Glaze frequencies. Right, and we look at our getting started for the SDK. Right, so we get our eye tracker. So we have our eye tracker. And it's working. Performing calibration. We don't need to calibrate it because we've already screen-based calibrated it in the software. Turn down the music a little bit. Right, you had to subscribe to the data. Right, so in your eye tracker object, subscribe to the data either by glaze data received or HMDM data received, which is fine. Depending on the type of eye tracker, data will be available as the glaze data event arguments or the HMD glaze data, respectively. And it's just weird. I wonder if it's a Godot issue. Because going through, like I go through, grab my eye trackers, and we know we have the right one. I get the tracking nodes, set our default tracking node. We get our display area just to make sure that display area is working. Alright, we have the eye tracker address, which is local, and all we should do is subscribe to glaze data receive. Right, and then auto-generated our glaze data method that we're subscribing to. We should be printing out that there's glaze data. Right, and what we're looking for is the left eye gaze origin position in user coordinates X and Y. But this is not being called at all, right? And if we go and run the tracking scene, right, and we put a break on it, right? We don't actually get pause, right? If we start stepping through, I know it's gaze. Step forward all the way, activate. Task our task scheduler. How's it going, Red Tango? You name the... Listen. Maybe I just want cake, okay? Maybe we all just want cake. Maybe he went glaze as in installing aluminum frame as a glass. How's it going, Sammy? But you're right. It is gaze. Let me rename it. On gaze data received. Not that it's gonna matter. I'm doing good. I'm just getting dinner on. Just getting ready for dinner and on doggy comfort duty due to the fireworks. Oh yeah, right, because it's America Day. Right, but that's about all it says. And I was getting license errors, but I fixed that. But you know, so we're getting the eye tracker. We're getting the detection frame. Like here's the local address of the Tobii Pro. And like we do have the, I tried querying the device's frequencies, and it's what it should be, and it's on. It's physically on here in the. If it'll, nope. NVIDIA broadcast is like, you're not a human. I can't show you. But this subscription is not. Right? Like we're subscribing to it and then it's not doing anything. We're not receiving any data. Which is so weird. Right? So here we are. Alright, so here we're doing the subscription. Right? So like if we look at the data for our Tobii tracker. I'm gonna see the eye tracker. So this is the eye tracker. Right? Serial number, firmware. Hang on. Right, device capabilities, can see setup data, has gaze data, can do validation because there's different depending on the license. Send hugs to your puppers. So depending on the license, right, you get access to different capabilities of Tobii, and we're just using it for gaming, so we can pretty much, capabilities is we have gaze data, we can do screen-based calibration, and we can set the display area. That's it, right, which is all we want. This is fine, this is fine. Right, there's the pointer to the actual native eye tracker. The data change observer. Firmware version, non-public methods. Right, there's the display area. So this is all accurate as far as me calibrating the screen prior. And if I turn on glaze data on the stream here, you guys should see what I'm looking at, right? Right, so we have right, so it's on and it's working, you know, as far as things go. Right, so that's all fine and dandy. But I don't know why the subscriptions won't work. So like on this frame, we should have subscribed. Right? And we should have unsubscribed. So at this point, we should have this subscription to the... I'm not sure where we check it. Right? To... right? And or why it's... Right, so this is our HMD gaze data received internal. On HMD, weird. Go to our frequencies. Right, and then we're on the standard game loop. But why are we not receiving any data, right, over the Toby? Right, we're not getting anything. I look around, not getting anything. Right, the events are just not called. And I wonder why. It's super weird. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, you just install the SDK. I get that we're in Godot, but that shouldn't really matter. Even the fact that it's a node shouldn't really matter that much. This could just be a script. And as long as ready is called, I can't see it having an issue binding the data to the class. Because these work, like the on, these do trigger when there's an error, but the on get, this does not call at all, doesn't print that there's gaze data at all, or HMD data. We don't get to the point. And is there something about the subscriptions, or when we subscribe to the subscriptions? I mean, that seems... Yeah, it's so weird, right? Because in the... So, if we go into the... Adobe... Right, research... Mm-hmm. Let's go take a look at the, surely a restart will fix everything. No. Not in this case. I think this is a user error. I think this is an ID10T error. Right? And I hate the documentation. Right, so some of these... All this is working, right? Because we can get all the way to this point. We just can't subscribe. Right? If you have an eye tracker object and you want to subscribe to gaze data, subscribe to either the get data received or the HMD event, depending on the type of eye tracker. Right, and we can tell that we can because we can, if you look here, right, we do eye tracker, we have our eye tracker instance. Right, these are all of our delegates that we can subscribe to. And like connection lost and restored works. I can unplug it, plug it back in. Like some of these do trigger. Like unless something else needs to be defined before we receive the data. Right? So gaze data received, right, is the event. Right? So event fired when gaze data is received. And I don't know, like, you know, if it periodically, like, you know, maybe, you know, we need to specifically, like, over a duration, it records data and we manually, I don't know, it's really weird, but that's all it is. But, right, fired when the eye openness data is received, fired when the user positional guide is received. And we're not using a head tracker, so assuming you read the troubleshooting page, probably not. Occurs when the computer and eye tracker's clock get synchronized, drifts between. Oh, do we have a device warnings event subscribed? So here's like the SDK, we're using 1.11. Got some examples, right, of how to get eye tracking data. Right, and it literally, in this case, this is just raw code. But all it's doing here, like we're in a game loop, but like it's just subscribing to the event. Leaping, so it's waiting for some data to be received. And then stops listening to the gaze data after 2 seconds. And then while that's happening, right, this is the same like eye tracker, console.write line. And we have our event, you know, left eye, gaze origin, validity. My screen-based not connected. Why does my screen-based eye tracker not connect? Oop. Yeah, all this is fine because we're able to see it. You know what I mean? Like, we're already able to see it. The SDK can communicate it with it, so like it's seeing it. Because I thought it was a license here. Because if I play and stop it very quickly, I will get a license here from attempting to stop it and start it too quickly. Right, but it finds the device. It gets the modes. It's working. So like, here's the error. It's okay. So it's all good. Small font. Can we increase the size of this? No. So there was a few things that we can subscribe to. Let's do, oh, we do have device warnings and errors. Eye tracker, dot, what else? Calibration change, calibration mode, connection loss, connection. Device faults. Device faults. Just to see if there is one, I don't think so, but. Let's do bd.print, e. Fault should be a list of strings. So if there is any device faults, it'll appear. I don't think there is. Nope, it's okay, so no errors. No faults in the device. We already have event error occurred, and that one's fine. Image raw data. I'm curious. Maybe, yeah, maybe like we're getting raw data or something instead. We're getting height image data, yeah, but I don't really want eye data. I don't care about grabbing like the raw image data from the camera. But we can actually just print image data. We can just see if we're actually getting that. And we're not, so that's good. Like, I wonder like, if it's something we have to turn on, you know what I mean? Like, we have to enable that we want to receive it. But I like it. Something that we're missing. I tried setting the eye tracking mode to default, because there only is a default eye tracking mode that I could see. I can list all the eye tracking modes, and the ones that we're getting is just default. Right, so the eye tracking modes are default. I wonder does Godot do something in subscriptions, like in the loop? Is there something that would stop it from, like, is the game loop of Godot itself, I don't know, stopping the subscription from happening? I don't really think so. No, because we're not using it. We're not using OpenXR or VR. We're not using any form of VR. We're directly just using the Toby research. So this is the pure SDK. because that's only for headsets with it enabled. Because there is a Tobii integration with a default driver for HMVs or H whatever they're called. HDMs? Is that the word I'm looking for? HDMs? HMDs. Right? So I'm subscribing to it just to see if we get anything, but because we don't necessarily want to have, well, I do want to have VR support ultimately, but right now I just want to get, looking around in the cockpit, and which we can get by getting the position between both eyes. So if we grab the origin of two glaze points and we get the point between that, and then we now have our head, and where our head is looking. Right, and where our head is within the box of perception of the tracker. So we're just aiming for head tracking, right? Is the goal, right? We just want to use the Tobii for head tracking, at least in this test project. But yeah, like I've already, like this never happens. We're never given the option to receive any gaze data. And I wonder if it's a Godot issue. I don't know. Are you sure you're not unsubscribing to it? And we're definitely not unsubscribing, we're only subscribing to it. Yeah, it's weird. And it works fine outside of Godot. I haven't tried it outside of Godot. I've never made a .NET app even outside of Godot. Okay, straightforward. Hey Dan, how's it going? Back to Unity. We're not going back to it. Hello, Mister. I bought some friends. We're not going back to Unity. What are you talking about? Not happening. Doing great. Good progress today. Same. I was working on some server code today, earlier, like offline. Made some headway with kind of breaking off the server completely, not having the server be a host. Right, and just kind of doing by RPC ordering, so we're only RPCing to the server, which is then relaying to all the clients, and having like state kind of more controlled on the server. And I made a new test world, so I want to do a YouTube tutorial. That's my goal, like to build up from scratch. A more correct architecture, at least, in my opinion, that easy for players to extend, and it keeps on going. So like I can kind of build a tutorial that players can follow, and I'll keep adding to it until we have full 3D, animatable characters and ADS, and ready to disappear. Sorry, you have to go. Have a great stream. Have a good one, Dan. It's good seeing you. Let me give you a shout out. You guys need to follow Dan. Shout out to Dan. I really wish this would autocomplete. Here we go. Anyway, but I still got a couple of issues with some graceful disconnections. But we'll go over this later once we play around with this a bit more. That's like the issue of the summer. Now that I'm working on it full time, there's a bunch of R&D I want to do, but then there's also progress. So every day I need to go through and finish everything that's on my agenda, and then I get some more time to dive into some research and development. Like, yeah, because like we're still getting these triggered, so I don't know why. This is not. And if like you'd figure, like event is fired. Wait, event is fired when openness data. I open this data? Oh, the next one, that's right. User position guide one. Guide. Like, this is the whole eye tracker class. Firmware, runtime, those capabilities. And of course, getting the gaze data is the main one that you want to do. Openness, user position, HMD. Right, and it's not in calibration mode, we already know that. Connection and disconnect is only for an Ethernet. Thanks for the follow. We're not using TrackBox has been depreciated. We're subscribing to faults. We're subscribing to warnings. The frequency is correct. So we don't need to set it. Right, gets the calibration data which can be saved to a file. Applies the calibration data. It's already calibrated. We already know that. The only thing I can see is if it's a license issue, right? If I actually need a license to use it, but I shouldn't. But maybe I do, right? Try apply license from a license collection. It very well might be limiting me. I don't think so. I'm not sure. I emailed support earlier, but there's no documentation of like setting up a license or no like example code that says, oh, hey, if you want to use this. Generally, the license application is only if you want more, if there's specific tracking that different pro devices can do, like, more than 5 points and things like that, for research purposes and stuff. So generally, if there's no license, it should just be limiting us to gaze data and whatever the two other properties are. So I don't think, because it is most of the other examples, I could try like Python or a few others just to kind of see if it works in there. But set the HMD lens configuration, which we don't have, and that's all there is to the eye tracker that we're getting back. Right, here's eye tracking operations, which is like the main, parent class of the SDK. Right, which does have events, and we can call a terminate on the whole SDK itself. And this is where we're getting our eye tracker, finding our eye trackers. And that's pretty much it. So here, wait a second, I just noticed that Toby Pro status ISI not supported, failed to subscribe to iImage. Interesting, so when we're trying to get image data, this is failing. Because it doesn't actually support it, which we know is true, because we don't have the license for it. It's like it seems to be behind the hood trying to do these things, but then it's not receiving any data. I don't know, it's so weird. So I'm gonna not do that subscription so we don't get that error, but yeah, it's so weird. Oh yeah, and I was gonna run it in console so we can actually step through it. Like, we should just be seeing a whole bunch of data, like just, you know, being triggered by me looking around. But we don't. Right, like the licenses, if we do need a license, is just you pretty much stick it on your file system, right? Load up create a new license key, give it the path to where the license is on the disk, and it'll try to apply it. And that very well could be. Maybe that's the issue. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's. But we would be getting license errors or something, right? If it was failing, it'd be like, oh no, you're not allowed to do that. Like the second we do the subscription, it should be like, nope, you can't do that. That's not a thing. And it doesn't. It seems to work. And I wonder how we can like manually access data like per call instead of the event. My image data. Let me just find the gaze data that we're receiving. Yeah, like it just subscribes because obviously it doesn't have a loop in this example. It just runs, does the subscription, waits for some data to be received, and then stops listening to the data. And then while it's listening to it, hey, thanks for the gifted tier 1 sub. To avoid sipping my hair. Thank you, random anonymous user. Don't get it. And it's so like and we shouldn't need to use the manager. That's for their actual devices. The Hobie Tracker 5 doesn't work with it, from what I can see. And even on the Unity SDK reference, because the Unity SDK is very similar. Right, they just have like an eye tracker operations and an eye tracker class. Right, so like here's the Unity code we create, you know. So here's our class for eye tracker gaze data received. So we just have an eye enumerator for the gaze data. Start listening. It's interesting that it's still polling it only every 2 seconds for this example, and not continuously. But it is only an example. Mm-hmm. Right, because we're returning any gaze data, so we just do it for 2 seconds, finally return it, and then that's it. Over 2 seconds, we will get a little string of data. And it's exactly the same. Right, so that's done as an I enumerator. I could look at the Unity example though, but I don't know if I still have the original Toby project. What is that? 1 second. I might have found something. What is that? Toby. What is the point of doing a selected eye? Oh, just an I enumerator. Hey, Maz, how's it going? Thanks for the bits, dude. Yeah, left eye, right eye, both eyes. I'm finally working on the game full time for the summer. I get 2 months to get everything kind of put together. It's nice to see you. Hopefully your streaming's still going good. I finally moved. If you guys aren't following Maz, give him a follow. Finally moved, got a new house, moved cities. Things were kind of crazy for a while. Hadn't really had a chance to work on the project for a couple weeks, and finally now getting back into it. Legend to the Unforgiven. It's I show you kind of like some of the, man, there's been a lot of stuff I've been working on with it. I know it's not much right now. Things look the way they looked, you know, but it's a full port to Godot, so that whole port took a while. But we added comm systems, big changes. Yeah, huge. That's what we added yesterday. Every day we're doing something. Yesterday I added comm rays to the game, so that can be turned off and on. Pretty much going through, like, now on the Discord, if you're, let me go to Monolithic here. Right, this is, look at this. This is now what my day looks like when it comes to getting things done. So this is like, you know, every day since, you know, July 2nd, July 3rd. So it's like 3 days of working on this full time. So, you know, choo choo, let's go. So what I've been working on, so I got all the habitation configuration stuff kind of working again right now, right? And we have our lovely, you know, ship. Graphics slowly coming along. I'm actually putting in some gameplay this time. Actually, like, integrating the comm system to the ship, starting to bring stuff online, right? Kind of stepping back from a bit of the art and actually like building in systems simultaneously as the art's getting done. So, like, I want to get the comm system kind of modeled out, you know, like the component in the ship that connects to the comm array, and then we threw the comm array in, which is like this guy yesterday. Right, so this is the gray box version. Like, this didn't exist yesterday, and this is still very basic, but it's all about scale, right? Because it's the same concept as SC, where you have these kind of a double airlock that you can just go into and right, go down and shut down the comm array, and you know, as long, they're pretty much either on or off, but they're your ability to you know, be kind of like detected and be on the radars, you know, they're kind of required. You shut them down. It's not just you know, it's not just, you know, you being not able to be reported or anything, but you're also unable to uplink with a lot of the stations, and a big part of the ship logic comes from the network. So because the ships aren't very smart, so the idea is if you don't have navigation data on your ship that you've done from existing routes, right, then doing all the route calculations and stuff requires you to be hooked up to the network. So as a pirate, you know what I mean, you don't want to just be hoarding other people's things. You also want to be hoarding, you know, navigation data on different systems that you're working in the event that you're not connected to the network, right? If you're like offline, then you're silent running, you know, you're kind of using what you have at your disposal. Right, so that's kind of the but we are working on this mining ship. Right, so this is a rock crusher where we can actually blow up rocks. It's just gray box, so it's, you see the big square chunks, you know what I mean? But this is this guy just, you know, blasts rocks and pulls them in with our tractor beam that we worked on 3 days ago, and it will be a multi-floor, you know, multi-crew, you know, ship. Right, no lighting here, but all the standard components and storage. Right, so something a little bit bigger than our default, you know, trading ship, and something a little bit more fun, depending on like what you're trying to do. And if you haven't seen the stream, I was working on technology for the asteroids. Check this out, Mouse, if you haven't seen it. So here I'm running at 500 FPS in a volumetric, you know, little world. You see our volumetric lighting. We have 1,000 asteroids. We're gonna double it, and we're gonna double it again. So we have 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, 32,000, 64,000. 128, 256, 500,000. Here's a million. Just, you know, unrealistic. You'd never need a million asteroids, but you know, it's kind of cool. And these are all just kind of dynamic meshes, but you know, there wouldn't ever be this many of them. But anyway, these are going to be the background filler of non-physicalized asteroids in the belt as you're kind of flying around. And the idea is the seed that spawns these also dictates collisions. So, you know, the collisions just happen at a radius of each one of these as core. So you're, you know, it's kind of like faux collisions, if you want to call it that. For these specific ones, because they're meant to be more background filler. So as you're trying to scan them, trying to figure out which ones are real, which ones are not, right? It's just to kind of create that like really in-depth kind of experience. And these will be kind of, you know, these will stream in and out around like a giant asteroid ring. What'll be called the Revere Belt? No, there's many different ones, right? So you know that's kind of how. Let me run the other project here real quick. The Miles Belt. And then like the other part of that, like it's and I'm hoping to get a lot of this stuff online this summer. So that's what I'm aiming towards every day. I'm working on adding Toby eye tracking to the game, so check it out. So here's like I said, I just made this in one sitting, so it's not perfect yet, but you know. Got some global illumination. This is just white box right? Just get it in the build so it's good. But if we take a look here, this is the test project that I push every week. This might run really bad. Hang on, because I probably have too many things running here. Yeah, that's too many things running. Okay, let's all right. So, the idea is very similar to SIGs, right? When it comes to asteroids, the idea is we store on the server, the different penetration markings of the actual, of the damage, and after a certain amount, they'll fracture. But what I want to do is keep them clustered. So I want them to, so they have a predefined, fracture state, but they cluster together. So like they'll kind of break in half, depending on like where you were shooting, and then they'll kind of crack again. So, they're in, like 16 pieces, and then they subdivide kind of like one more time, which is good enough, we add a bunch of effects to the whole thing. But this way they're easy to synchronize over the network. And then when you finally have fractured them, you can just kind of like hit them with a tractor beam and, just kind of gobble them up. And that works out really well. It's a fine enough mechanic. So if you think about just visibly having like dynamic, artistically created, a build of this stuff, where you have to scan them, right? And in scanning them, you get the interior structure, of the asteroid, and you can kind of determine like where the rare components are. So like if I target, the ship as an example here, this will be the same as targeting an asteroid. So this is a clone of the mesh, similar to how SE will do like level design. So, I want to be able to like kind of scan an asteroid and kind of get an idea of what its composition is. And then I can start fracturing it, kind of more strategically, because, otherwise you're just wasting time. So you're kind of like, scanning what's around you to figure out where things are. And then breaking it down and, scooping it up. And this is the fighter. I also put this in a few days ago too. Yep, this is great. Keep going. Oh no, yeah, we're going. We're gonna, like I said, these gray box versions don't have much, but the idea now is just to just keep pushing, right? Push. Get code done. Get code out. So I have the roadmap. I'm trying to define for the summer, but I had to get rid of the ClickUp app because it was messing with my Blender keybinds. But yeah, this is the board of everything that's happening for the active sprint. Right, so we still got to move over all of our gray box items. We're fixing, so there's kind of comm system integrations that we worked on this week. Right, so everything kind of, I have planned is all here. Adding chat to the data pad, so we're gonna have chat very soon. That's what I was working on here with this project. This is a tutorial series I'm gonna be doing for YouTube, where we actually build our own FPS game from scratch. And so I gotta replace the gun because there's some stuff ported from other projects, but I want to make it so like the server is now totally headless. Now what's going to happen is as I connect and there is a camera, it's going to look like the server is a player, but the server is not a player. So if I'm Maz and I join, right, it's only taking over Maz's camera because the server doesn't have a camera spawn, and the camera really shouldn't be in the player. And this is Rav, right? So now we have Maz and Rav here, and can I supply? Yeah, I supply the coffee, and so I'm trying to get this set up this week to be a bit of a prototype for myself, but I want to have like a more graceful quitting of the clients. But I want to be able to run this headless. Most important function, yeah. So that's what I'm working on with this. Is that this will be able to become right. If we're running dash dash server dash dash headless, then it'll just run the game and automatically set everything up, and I can kind of start the process on systems of having just the stations, just the main star system be fully like spun up and spun down with the dedicated server. So I'm going to have it take in parameters for what star system it wants to load, and the idea is that it'll just it'll load up for that star system, load in that specific map, and then just sit in the background, and it'll connect back to the API and update the back end service that one server is running for that system. And then ideally, then when we connect to the lobby manager as a player, we'll just get thrown into that server as that's the only one up for that system. And I'll kind of build out the architecture a bit more from that. So I want to get this working today, so the server is fully working on its own, and that we're only sending RPCs back to the server to be relayed. But yeah, what we're working on today is getting the Toby eye tracking working, just as a research and development stream, because I've already finished what I wanted to get done today, as far as like that project goes. So I'm trying to just get this data into Godot, so that way we have our head tracking. But because I really want to add, like, Toby's one of those things, that and a really good oh dude, yeah, and we can really utilize it, because as a developer. Cool mouse. What mouse? Yeah, which No Man's Sky had it too. Yeah, it's so good, and I even think we'll fully utilize it. Like, I love the idea of targeting, right? Like, gaze targeting in Star Citizen is wicked. It's perfect. Like, or being able to use it for turrets, because even if you're really accurate at looking at it, like you would be accurate mousing over it, if your gimbals are limited by their speed, then you still have the flywheel. You know what I mean? Like, you could have really good mouse accuracy, but if you want to balance things out, if your gimbal servos themselves are limited in what they can look at, and they don't just instantly look at things, right? Then you get a little bit of balance, right, between mouse and keyboard, and HOTAS players, but also even using Toby, right? Because even though you're looking at the thing you want to be looking at, you still have to kind of trail it a little bit. You're just getting the convenience of being able to use it like an Apache, helicopter. I'll be right back. I gotta use the washroom. Yeah, you have me wanting cookies now. You had to mention cookies earlier, and then my brain is like in the kitchen looking for snacks, and I'm like, oh man, if only there was chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't really know. Like I really am stumped here. We talk about the project all night, but what like why are these subscriptions not working? Like why are we not getting gaze data? And I guess, the solution is I'm gonna make a little console app and we're gonna give it a try. I don't know how do we make a like VS Code make .NET console app? For .NET 8. Right here. Okay, yeah, that looks right for it. Okay, let's go. So let's do open folder. Projects. C#. Let's make a Toby project. I trust Revere. And let's do a new terminal, and we'll just set up a new console app for Toby. Boom. Okay, ta-da. Let's add the Toby SDK. Oh, so .NET add package. No. You'll make some next week. Oh yeah. Okay, so now we have our bin folder. We have our debug.net. We have our object debug. We have our Toby assembly. So our program. So we just do namespace Toby. Already. Just do using Toby.research. And then in main, just run this. Hello world. Okay, that works. We're gonna get this shit working real quick here. Let's go. Let's go back into the Toby project. Okay, apparently I closed it. Not surprised. You're watching ads. I need to start automatically running ads so that we're not running ads. Alright, let me just run this. So let's grab our eye tracker class. What? Oh, it can't be in class program. In the program class, we can't have must contain a non-null value by adding required or declare the field as nullable. Cannot convert a literal not nullable type. Declare as nullable, a nullable eye tracker. Okay, so we have some eye trackers. How's it going, David? What is the difference in C#? Namespace class program. Probably just make it static. Is it static here though? Because it and for program eye tracker. Oh, we're not using link as well. Wait. Let's find out. The eye tracker should be static. Does that need to be? How's it going? Pushed away. Okay, and it's console.write line instead of. Because it can't really be static if we're going to be using it within the class. Maybe Toby's probably a bad one for this. Let me just do... Actually, why is it like that? Oh, is main... Oh. Is it supposed to... Like, what's the... Does it have to be? Does it still run like normal if it's public? The reference is a possible nullable. This program does not contain a static main method suitable for an entry point. Oh, it has to be static? Oh, okay. I got you. Alright, that's fine. That makes sense. Is it wrong to buy an iPad so I can watch the stream while being a cat bed asking for 3 kitties? I don't know. There's a million tablets here. Yeah, so don't touch this program. And create another class for it. Not there though. Oh no, just create a new one in the main. Oh, so I guess they used to be nullable. Public billing. What's this? Why is this a book? How to make a hat entirely out of a dry cucumber? I have no idea. How's it going, Goose? Doing good. Trying to figure out why eye tracking is not working. Have a good one. What are we doing? Implementing Toby in a space game, but not really? Yes. Yamayo, that's exactly what we're doing. Implementing Toby in a space game, but not really. Hopefully we can get rid of the not really part. If we could get rid of the not really part, that would be great. So where am I subscribing? Here. After the address. Nullable reference of not type. Nullable or reference types in type sender of void head tracking. Unreceived data does not match. Oh, right. Hang on. Unused data received. Used data received. What do you mean? It's right here. Is it because the eye tracker was nullable? That's the issue. Nullability of reference. Right. I mean, if I'm only doing it in tracking, I could just create a new one here. Eye tracker. Or we could do it here. If our account embedded statements has not been declared. No, I still had to make it nullable or something. Eye tracker. No, 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 no. Yeah, and if it's nullable, what? You just have to... What is the appropriate way of dealing with that? No, 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 no. These are warnings. Does it actually build? Nope. Oh, yeah, right. because I messed it up. 1 second. Static void. Tracking. Equals new. Void tracking. Oh. Static tracking. You just return early if it's null. Gotcha. Yeah. So we'll just get our list of vibe trackers. Don't worry about this. If the count is not, you can just return. Otherwise, the eye tracker can be the first one. Me, still null check it. Again. 1 second. Music. Sure. There's a nullability. Is that already saved? What is that auto-generated? Saying the object type is nullable. Gaze origin. And I want X to string. Oh, right. And then we have to, let's actually do the, let me just follow the example real quick here. Because we're just going to wait for a second and see what it, samples of, it's still, even if it works though, it's still going to be kind of weird. I'm just going to sleep and, yeah, so start tracking, describe, sleep, unsubscribe. And we're still not getting anything. Interesting. So I don't think it's Godot. I bet you it is the license. Right? Because we're still getting the same thing. I don't know why this hello world thing go away. Right? So it's the same thing, right? We should be getting gaze data. Should at least tell you it's licensed. That's what I'm. But yeah, that's what I thought that it would, right? But it's not. I don't get it. right? In Godot land, we're just not getting anything back on the data. Does it make an outbound check on their server or something when you launch it? I'm not sure, but if maybe. But when if I launch it and close it in Godot fast enough, it will sometimes give me a license error. Right, so I will get a license error. Let me go back to the Godot project. Right, like in the Godot project version, which is, I mean, pretty much the same code. No, it's actually, but sometimes it will actually just give me the license error if I've launched it too quickly. But I'm not getting the license error. Like it's coming up okay and okay, which is really weird. I know if you guys have a Toby and some C#, right? Because it doesn't matter, like, you know, if it's Godot or not. It's just .NET. So weird. Because it's just not happening. And I really wonder if it's the licensing. Right? Because it does have a default apply license and a clear license. But it's just weird because it, like, we should have a research license by default. Like that's like the default. Like even like the getting started for Python, right? Just get Toby research. Right, browser eye tractors, establish a connection, run calibration, set up the subscription to the gaze tab. That's the process. And it's like the same thing. Find all eye trackers, returns an eye. Did you did mention having a direct license path before? Yeah, but I don't have a license. I've emailed sales about it, so it might very well be a license issue. Because it like in every SDK it just says like it's pretty straightforward, right? It's, you know, make install, set up your packages. Like they're all the same, pretty much API for each of them, each of the languages. Which is so, you know, it's weird. Right, browsing. Start with eye tracking operations, a static class in the research. Use find all trackers. And what's weird is that's what we're getting. We're finding all the trackers, just an array of one of them. Right, and I've already checked the getting calibration data to make sure it's calibrated, and it is calibrated. Like with, the, you know, the device knows that it's calibrated, and I don't know. It's weird. And then finally, you have an eye tracker object, which we have, and we want to subscribe to the gaze data. Subscribe to either the gaze data received or the HMD gaze data received event, depending on the type of eye tracking data. And ta-da, that's it. Right, because then you just get an event that has a vector 3, not really a vector 3, but they call it a point 3D, with a value of where you are, you know, what you're looking at. It's so weird. Because I was really hoping to knock that out today, right? Because it'd be a pretty productive day if I could get both the multiplayer stuff that I was working on before the stream, and maybe, you know, I was hoping we'd spend the stream working on this and we'd hopefully get somewhere, and it'd be kind of fun, you know what I mean, just to get some Toby happening. But I don't know, like there's nothing else in the documentation that I can see, and we're not getting device errors, we're not getting warnings, we're not getting, like, you know, anything. Oh, we could, hang on, let's do you know, GD print for our license. Let's grab the license. Yeah, English apparently. License. How do I? LIC. Whatever. equals eye tracker, look at license. Try to apply license, clear apply licenses. A license collection containing a license to apply. Apply one or more. Yeah, see, applying one or more licenses unlocks features of the eye tracker, and a return value indicates whether all licenses are applied or not. I think by default, you know, we have access to the. Let me just kind of show you, because at this point we would have an eye tracker. This is what's weird. I'm gonna just launch it again. Right, with our address being okay, so here we are, boom, at the stage where we've gotten it. We have this Toby tracker, right, which has our eye tracking. And this is all the data of the eye tracker. It's really weird. Oh, hang on. Just to let you know that music from time to time cuts off. Perhaps mismatch of sample rates. Check if someone else is having it as well. Just confirm it's not on your end. No need to bother with it though. Just not much. It very well could be. Sometimes like the music gets like that, and then I had to kind of stop it and start it. It was doing it before with the when I was just playing it in the browser, but I'm not sure what's the ultimate cause of it. But yeah, I don't get it right here. So I think what happens is my theory, right? Is when we don't have a license, we can do this, right? We can deal with the gaze data. We can do screen calibration. We can set up display. This is our capabilities, and I think our capabilities are based on the license. Are you using, or do you have Toby Game Hub installed? I don't know. I don't think I have Game Hub installed. I think I just have Toby Experience. Just to get it working. Right? To be able to calibrate. Actually, go away. I don't want these. Manuate to Game Hub? Oh, that could be... I don't know if we use that anymore. Toby Game Hub. Toby eye tracking. Game Hub. Okay. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? Hey, David. I really hate all this Game Hub crap, though, but... Hey, okay. But what would the executable be in that case, though? Only free games. You know, because it's not like I've done a build. I could do a build. Interesting that locked up the second we... Let's do a build. And we'll do a build but debugging. Template double mono console. How's development going? Pretty good. You're actually here this time? I said hi to you earlier. We're working on trying to get Toby tracking working. So our debug with console, and we'll do for our release. We'll use our release with console. Okay, I'm just gonna export this. do our builds. With a debug. This action map can actually be deleted, but that's fine. Right. Oh, I wonder, do we need to add the I guess technically we could just add the Godot editor. Yeah, we could do that. Hang on. Do the Toby game hub. Question is, how do we do that? Here? Auto start in background. I don't want advertising. Go away. Yeah, it's like it the auto detects games. I don't have a clue how to right click, load more, find more. All settings are found inside the game. So maybe this is a bust. Click on games, find Star Citizen, browse for the file. Oh, ooh, that's clever. I don't. Maybe we won't. Yeah, I do play Star Citizen, so that maybe we'll pick one. Can I just enable some random thing that would represent the Church of Darkness? Sure, we are the Church of Darkness now. And I need to clean up my drive. Okay, so this should be it. And that is the one. Reveal, buildings, highlight, clean. Oh, kind of. Yeah, I don't think it should matter. It's a good call, though. Yeah, we're gonna return to it. But that would have been super cool, man. Because that would have been so easy. Like, once we have the, you know, just the vector 3, like, once we have that position and direction, we're using the generic one. Yeah, and I still think it might be a license issue. I don't have a license yet. We just have the research license. But it's really weird, right? Because in my, let me bring up my mail on another screen. Right, so I signed up. Define this. Nope, 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 nope. Toby. Right, so like getting started. Thank you for downloading the Toby SDK. Please look at the result. Please note, if you intend to commercialize the software that you build on the Toby SDK, you need to acquire a commercial development license. When downloading the SDK, you accept the terms of the research development license, which is limited. For more information of what licenses are available, right under this license, you're not allowed to store or transfer eye tracking data. We're just using it, which is fine. But this is what we should have, right? We should have a research development license temporarily, which gives you the right to store or transfer eye tracking data provided you comply with our eye tracking transparency policy. This type of license is only available for Toby Pro tracking products, for the Toby Pro SDK, because there used to be like a generic SDK, and I think the Pro is all they have now. And if you wish advice, if you wish to get advice on available eye tracking hardware, please contact Toby Pro. So I did a whole getting started thing. Right, like it doesn't seem like it would be blocked. Night, night. Yeah, it's so weird, man. Alright, because we just want it for PC gaming. Right, and we're not, you know. So with this version 8 released in May. Hang on, there's a minimum example. This is in C, contains CS and DLL files. Maybe we don't need the Pro license. But don't even, yeah, but this... Toby Game Integration refers to TGI. TGI is built as a feature atop the Stream engine. C++ interface with C#. Yeah, I went through this and ultimately we ended up in the same place. We're gonna find out. No, I didn't change anything with it. But I do have the Pro license, right? Maybe it's not the Pro license that we need. I'll find out now. I want to see if this links us back to the same place. Or if there's a separate... Please tried... Oh, video game. Gaming? Yeah, this wasn't here before. Toby Eye Tracker 5. What software do you want to download? This is not what I had before. Check your inbox for more information. It could take several minutes for the email to arrive. Okay. You know, I think that was it. I think it was we're using the Pro SDK and not whatever this particular SDK is, the Research SDK, and we just don't have the license. I bet you it's just a license issue. In which case, that'll be amazing. Let me get chat back up. Not like this. I just want to look around my spaceship. Yeah, so that's not happening. And it's 12 now anyway. Anyway, I'll be streaming full-time tomorrow, so tomorrow we'll... I think tomorrow I want to get the code for the comm system in. And I want to get the... I want to change the... I want to change the main systems project, all the changes with the network server, so that I can run it headless, and then actually keep it up. Because I would like to be able to log into my dedicated server that I have in Toronto, which is OVH data center, and actually like keep a permanent build of US. Actually, I would like to get 2 builds running, a systems server, and then ultimately what will become our main Patreon build, dedicated server, and just kind of keep those going. So that's going to be... why is this stuck? It crashed. It's Toby debug. Is it this one? Yep. Or are you the debug from VS Code? Oh, you are. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get ready. We're going to raid someone, and we'll be back tomorrow to hopefully have a little bit more progress. But I think we're doing good. I think we'll have that figured out, and we'll get Toby in. And it'll be cool. Let's close out my email, and let's go find someone to raid. Hey, let's go to practical. Until tomorrow, folks.